Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome on our show, Brigadier's Truth Hour with Coffee. Today we have something very, very important subject to discuss. UN General Assembly session is on in New York. And yesterday, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif of Pakistan addressed the UN General Assembly and he made certain very, very factually incorrect remarks about India and Indian politics. When in his fiery address, he presented his nation as a triumph nation, a nation who's a victor, a nation which is battling extreme externally sponsored terrorism and while courageously defeating India's unprovoked aggression. The very statement that he made was absolutely factually incorrect. And today we fact check that entire narrative. We'll show you how the key claims made from the world's most prestigious platform are contradicted by the official records, allied testimony, and Pakistan's own admitted history of sponsoring terror all over the world. First, let's talk about the first point. Like he said, during Operation Sindoor, Pakistan gave a bloody nose to India. Well, that's, let me call it as a bloody nose myth. The Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif claimed that in a confrontation in May, Pakistan delivered a bloody nose to India, resulting in 7 Indian jets being turned into what he called scrap and dust. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that this number is a diplomatic fantasy and nothing else. Pakistan's own claims have been inconsistent with its officials and leaders, etc., like and important figures like Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto Zardari, claiming that 5 were down. They keep changing the figures from 5 to 7. So it all, whatever is the convenient at that particular time, they just give it out. Then he also said that India's action was an unprovoked action. But ladies and gentlemen, this conflict began with the horrific tourist attack on Indian tourists at Pahalgam in Jammu and Kashmir on April 22nd, 2025, which killed 26 innocent people in front of their ladies and children. The group that claimed responsibility was the Resistance Front, TRF, a known front of the UN proscribed Pakistani terror group Lashkar-e-Toiba. Well, Indian response, which is called Operation Sindoor, 2 weeks later was targeting counter-terror strikes against the infrastructure of these groups. We did not go in for attacking Pakistani military or Pakistani civilians. We went in for the terror headquarters, the 9 of them simultaneously, out of which 4 were in the heartland of Pakistan, which had never happened before. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this shows. And thereafter, once the funeral procession started for those guys who were killed, the terrorists who were killed, they were all being, this funeral was being attended by all the top leaders. The wreaths were laid on those coffins from the president of Pakistan, the army chief of Pakistan, and the senior officers from administration, police, and the army were in attendance. That showed that those particular areas, that is Markaz-e Subhanallah, that at Bahawalpur, and Markaz-e Taiba at Muridke, were the terrorist training factories, terrorist training academies. They also showed a visual of a passing out parade over there, which was being reviewed by a Pakistani military officer, senior officer, and it's next to him was Hafiz Saeed standing there. That showed that there were terror academies using terrorists to be launched into India. So how does it say that India is promoting terrorism in Pakistan and not the other way around? Well, now let's talk about the terror victim bogey, which Pakistan keeps saying that we are the victims of terrorism, and Shehbaz Sharif even quoted certain figures. He asked the world to appreciate Pakistan's sacrifice, losing out 90,000 people and $150 in war on terror, and complained of externally sponsored terrorism from India. Of course, he didn't name India, but he meant it. But ladies and gentlemen, for decades now, ever since Operation Topak was started by President Ziaul Haq, the evidence has always pointed to the Pakistan's state role in sponsoring the very terror that it now claims that is targeting it. Who are these guys who are targeting them? They are the ones which they trained against Soviet Union, which they trained against Afghanistan now. Afghans are against them, like TTP, Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan, ISK. So these are the organizations which are attacking them. So they had grown snakes in their backyard, which they're coming to bite them now. So what exactly is this? Are they victims? Well, it's very difficult to believe their version. And I'm sure world over, with so much of diplomatic activity that India has done all over to educate the world, look, they are the epicenter of the terrorism for the entire world, be it Europe, be it France, starting with Charlie Hebdo, be it UK, be it Denmark, be it Sweden, and be it other countries in Europe, in Africa, all have the links to the Pakistan-sponsored terrorism or the terror being sponsored from Pakistan, the terrorists being trained in Pakistan and being given to the all over the world. Similarly, we also see the narcotics. The narcotics are basically grown in the areas of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa and adjoining areas in Afghanistan. And thereafter, they are converted into proper drugs, smuggled into India, into Bangladesh, and to the Southeast Asia, and from there they proliferate all over the world. It is a known fact. And this drug money is being used by Pakistan to sponsor terrorism, to fund the terrorism. Because their economy is in doldrums, they don't have their money. So this is a parallel economy in Pakistan, which is used for spreading narcotics and terrorism, which we can call now as narco-terrorism. Besides this, Pakistan's own ministers have confirmed, former foreign Prime Minister Imran Khan had said, along with his army chiefs, they have already said that they have admitted for that terrorists are trained and operate from Pakistani soil. There was a Lieutenant General, ex-ISI chief. He's on record on Al Jazeera TV to admit that yes, Pakistan does train the terrorists and they put them all over the thing. And even during Mumbai attacks in 2008, they tried to sort of hide the thing. But Ajmal Kasab was captured by us. And later on, his roots were discovered in Pakistan. His hometown was discovered. His home village was discovered. His family was discovered. That was a clear link and indication that Pakistan had sent the terrorists to India for Mumbai attacks in 2008. This is not a frontline state solely fighting external terror. This is a state that has fostered terror and then attempted to hide it from the world. And regarding narcotics, I've already spoken to you. Now, coming to Indus Water Treaty. Nawaz Sharif says Indus Water Treaty ये भारत का कोई family asset नहीं है. But let me tell you, Indus Water Treaty was a goodwill gesture from India to Pakistan. It was signed after 9 years of negotiation in 1960. And it is a lopsided treaty which was all in favor of Pakistan. And it had given 80% water to Pakistan, only 20% to India. And besides, India had to give 64 million pounds to Pakistan to make canal networks, dams within the areas which are Pakistani Punjab, because the water from Satluj and Ravi had been stopped. Why should we do all that? And what they have given us in return? They have given us terror. They have a blood of Indians on their hands. So how are you going to give them water? And they say, you cannot suspend it. It is against the international law. No. The Article 12 of the treaty clearly says that treaty can be renegotiated. Besides, the treaty Vienna Convention on Treaties, I think it is 1964, the Article 60 and 64 clearly say that any treaty can be abrogated under certain conditions. And we have the precedence of America stopping 2 treaties with Russia, one in 2018 and one probably earlier than that. So we have the precedence. We can stop that. There's no doubt about it. and we are well within our rights to do that. Why should we deprive our own countrymen from the water which they well deserve, which is part of their territory, and give it to Pakistan? So these are the fallacies that is tried to sort of promote on a forum called United Nations General Assembly, which is the world's most sacred forum, and told lies to 191 countries in broad daylight. And I'm sure they are being well received by the people. They know they're telling lies. And Indian response had been very quick. The rebuttal was given point by point and told the whole world that, look, what Pakistan has a habit of is a habitual liar. And what they are doing is they're just trying to appease Trump, because they can do anything for any country if they are given money. Trump has promised them money for his own for personal family business of cryptocurrencies that he must have lined their pockets, plus given them some kind of a hallucination that in the areas of Balochistan there is enough oil, there's enough minerals which America would be sort of looking them for. America will be exploring them for them, which is not possible because of the security situation. So enough for the day. Thank you very much for joining our program, and we'll come next time with you for another such issue which is of very urgent nature, which needs your attention. Thanks. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Jai Hind Ki Sena.
Please like and subscribe.